Today, I'm up in Liverpool at the Dr. Yusra clinic, and I'm going to talk to her about the emerald laser, which she loves for wellness as well as fat loss, particularly for her menopausal patients, and I want to know why. So come with me, we'll see how it goes. So why did you bring the emerald laser into your practice?
I have a wide range of different devices in our clinic for fat reduction, but there was something missing for wellness as well, and also for patients who wanted circumferential loss and cellulite reduction. So the emerald laser really helped to fit into
Fills that gap.
It filled that gap, absolutely. Yeah. And because it's got such a wide range of uses, from reducing inflammation to optimizing health to optimizing sleep, mood regulation, as well as fat reduction, of course. It's a really unique treatment that I've had done myself and I love.
What is it and how does it work?
It's a fascinating new treatment that uses light energy to treat the fat cell. And I think it's really hard to conceptualize and understand. So how I explain it is, our bodies are designed to absorb light. And even when our eyes are closed, every cell in our body absorbs light. So what happens is when we're sleeping and when we wake up, or when daylight comes, our body recognizes daylight, it absorbs light, and it stimulates our hormonal system, our circadian rhythm.
Okay.
And we get the release of a hormone called cortisol. And when it becomes dark, a hormone is secreted called melatonin, which makes us tired and sleepy. So our body is actually accustomed to receiving light and is regulated by light. We get vitamin D production by light. So emerald laser is not a light therapy, but it's a low-level laser, a true laser, 532 nanometer laser, which penetrates through the skin and impacts the skin cells and the fat cells. And it works by doing a multitude of different things. One of which is it causes collagen remodeling. So it actually helps to improve the skin. So it helps with cellulite, it helps to tighten up the skin. And the other thing that it does with fat is it creates a little pore in the fat cell, so an opening.
Yes. Okay.
We call that a transitory pore. And that pore remains open for 48 hours to 72 hours. The fatty liquid within the fat cell then leaks out through the body and is removed through the lymphatic drainage system. And so, very different to other fat reduction treatments, what happens is we are preserving the fat cells because fat has a very important function, but we are making the fat cell healthy again.
Can you talk a bit about what makes a fat cell healthy or unhealthy?
So when we're 18 years old, once we reach adulthood, we have a set number of fat cells that we're given for life. Every cell that you have, when you put on weight, that fat cell expands. And if it expands and is filled with fatty liquids, fatty acids, it becomes what we call an unhealthy cell, and it becomes inflamed. And our cells, now if we look at it at a cellular structure, every cell on our body communicates with each other. And it sends out a signal, and that can either be a pro-inflammatory signal or an anti-inflammatory signal. So when we have too much fat in our body, and we have obesity or a high density of visceral fat, for example, we are in an inflamed state, and our body is in a pro-inflammatory state, which has a whole host of negative side effects, including an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease, an increased risk of developing 13 types of cancers, diabetes, and it dysregulates our hormones. So what we also know, however, is that the fat cell has a very important function. It's not just there to keep us warm. So they're very important in hormone regulation. They're important for brain health and function. They're important for thermal regulation and general homeostasis of the body. So traditionally, before all of these non-surgical treatments came about, the way that people removed fat, if they wanted to remove it other than exercise and diet, was liposuction.
Actual surgical removal.
Yes. Which has its place, but there is a downside to removing fat. And that is when you remove fat cells, many patients who've undergone liposuction find it then they are suffering with anxiety, depression, low mood, inability to regulate their sleep, inability to regulate their emotions. So we now know that there is a neurological link with fat.
From a wellness perspective, now this also does something for the energy of our cells as well. Could you explain that for me, please?
Yes. If you imagine that you're in solitary confinement without any exposure to light, your hormones would be dysregulated and you would be in a pro-inflammatory state. You would struggle to make vitamin D, you would struggle with your emotional well-being and health. And therefore light is important. So when this green laser therapy is emitted, and in the emerald laser we have 10 diodes, which means quite a large circumference of laser. What the scientific evidence has shown is our body is very, very good at absorbing green light as compared to, for example, red light.
Amazing.
Okay? It's incredible. Every single cell that we have in our bodies has a little powerhouse called mitochondria. So the mitochondria, if you remember from the biological lessons,
They're like the batteries?
they're like the batteries of the cell. And the mitochondria is very important to make energy and to make that cell do its thing. Now, one of the 12 hallmarks of aging is dysregulation of the mitochondria, which basically means that these little battery operators are no longer functioning properly. And what we know from the emerald laser, and actually also from red light laser, is that our body absorbs that and it powerhouses, it optimizes mitochondrial function, and it downregulates inflammation. So it switches off inflammation and it upregulates the action of the mitochondria so your cell is functioning in a healthy manner.
So how much of it do you have to do to see the benefits, either for fat loss or wellness?
Or for wellness. I mean, we use it for both. The beauty of this procedure is that it's a non-contact laser. It's non-thermal, so it's not painful. It's completely painless. There's no bruising, there's no downtime, and patients experience an immediate boost to their energy, but also an immediate improvement in their sleep cycle. Because of the absorption of light, the mitochondria is now functioning better, their hormones are better, and they're sleeping much better. So we have a lot of patients come for this treatment for a wellness perspective, and they will notice benefits quite quickly. For fat reduction, you'll start to notice results at 4 weeks and optimum results at 3 months. And on average, patients lose about 6 inches of fat. Lasers have been around for a long time for remodeling the collagen and also for fat reduction.
Yes.
The first generation of lasers was red laser. They then made the green light laser, the emerald laser, and they found that it was 30% more efficient. All the cells of the body were responding to it. You had a better reduction in fat, and they managed to get the FDA approval for a higher BMI. So red light laser is good for patients who maybe have less fat, but green light laser can target a wider spectrum of patients and those who have obesity, which is fantastic because those are the patients who are often in a pro-inflammatory state.
And do you need to support the treatment with a healthy diet, with some exercise to help? Because if you're mobilizing the fat, or the fat is seeping out of that tiny pore that is created in it, you'll have it on the loose in your body. Should you then be doing exercise to help speed that on its way?
Yes, lymphatic drainage is always something that we recommend. But of course, no fat reduction treatment is an alternative to a healthy lifestyle.
True,
and
shame, but true.
Absolutely. We recommend to our patients to drink lots of water, so 2 to 3 liters of water a day. And if they can, walk 30 minutes a day to help move everything around.
The emerald is a particularly easy and safe thing for patients to use, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Because it's a no contact laser, there's no risks of burn because it's a non-thermal laser. There's no pain, there's no bruising, there's no downtime. There's just the immediate emotional boosts and mood boosts, better sleep, and then fat reduction over time. So it's a very safe treatment.
And you literally just lie there, don't you?
You lie there for 15 minutes while the front of the body is treated, and then the back of the body is treated as well. And it can treat double chin, neck, arms, abdomen, inner thighs, outer thighs, and behind as well, the buttock.
So what sort of results are you seeing?
We're seeing an improvement in cellulite. Actually, it's FDA approved for cellulite reduction, which is fantastic because one of the only treatments that works very well for cellulite. And we're seeing patients losing approximately 6 inches of circumference.
Yeah. This sounds incredible. Any other benefits you need to mention?
Pain reduction.
Oh,
so,
really?
For many years, low-level laser therapies have been used for pain reduction, red laser, green laser. And we know because of that reduction in inflammation, patients are having it for pain control as well. Those patients who might have chronic back pain, hip pain, generalized muscle pain are coming in for emerald laser for generalized pain reduction as well. So there is such a spectrum of wellness benefits that patients are really feeling. It's just been such a fantastic addition to our treatment portfolio.
I was going to ask what the feedback from your patients is like. What do they say about it?
Immediately they say they're sleeping better. That's what we're hearing quite regularly. They're going to they're kind of going to the bathroom a little bit more regularly, which is great because you need to be moving more frequently than many of our patients used to be. And then they're really happy about the way that their tissues look. So they're losing weight, they're happy with the circumferential loss, but their skin is tighter as well. Cellulite in particular is one of those really stubborn, things that really frustrates patients.
How does Emerald actually tackle cellulite?
So cellulite is essentially an inflamed and enlarged fat cell,
Okay.
and it's dysregulation. So you have these irregularities on the skin. So we are shrinking the fat cell by creating this pore, leaking out the fats from that cell. We're optimizing its health. At the same time, the laser is being absorbed by the skin cells, and the skin is now thicker because of more collagen production. So the overall appearance of the skin becomes much, much smoother.
So the huge buzz in aesthetics at the moment is around longevity. And how does Emerald play into this by helping our metabolism and impacting on our health span?
First of all, it's important to understand what health span means.
Yes.
I think a lot of us are living longer because of traditional modern day medicine, but are we living healthier?
Yes.
And that's the kind of difference between lifespan, how long you live, and health span, meaning the quality of life that you have. And the quality of life comes from essentially your cellular aging. So I might be 35 chronologically. I'm not, I'm older than that, but let's go with 35.
25 still, come on.
But on a cellular aging mechanism, our cells can either age faster than our chronological age or slower, and that is very much lifestyle dependent. So if I am smoking, drinking alcohol, not sleeping well, stressed all the time, I'm probably going to be aging faster on the inside than if I was leading a healthy lifestyle. And that's where really wellness treatments come in. It's about optimizing quality of life and optimizing cellular aging.
Where can Emerald move in on this area?
Well, it's mitochondrial dysfunction.
Yes.
So Emerald helps with downregulating inflammation because inflammation precedes aging, and we call it inflammation. Inflammation is a precursor for all disease. So the number one thing that we do now in aesthetics, in aesthetic medicine, is we try and reduce inflammation in our patients' skin and in our patients' bodies. And Emerald laser, by optimizing the mitochondria, it also helps to downregulate inflammation. So you are optimizing cellular function. You are making the cells function in a healthier way, which means a better quality of life, better brain health, better mood, and generally better overall health.
So that's a huge contribution to
Quality
what
of
we're
life.
looking for improving that longevity and health span.
Yeah.